Hello, 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 hello. Hi. How's it going, everybody? Let's see, there we go. My headphones were not turned on. I was like, I hear nothing. I hear nothing. But, oh. I'm blocking the light. Hopefully that got everything nice and right, proper. You can see the beard is slowly starting to come in. Yeah. Want to keep the illusion that there's an actual green screen behind me. But hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back to doing it, having a no signal day apparently. Coming from the Elgato game capture, where basically, all right, so I really hope that this doesn't completely crap out, because I've had this happen before, where this happens, where I try switching it and it crashes the stream. So hopefully it doesn't do that. So I do see myself here. So hopefully if I just refresh the capture, that should come back up. So it looks like it did. I don't see any dropped frames. Pretty sure I'm still in here. Okay, sounds good. How's everybody doing? Yes, hey Jenny, I got all the loves. Yeah, sweet day. Yeah, there we go. Just doing all that fun stuff. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. It is, for Vancouver, snowing a fair amount up here, so we actually don't have a whole lot of things to really combat the snow up here in terms of plows and all that other jazz. So we're all hoping and praying that it snows a fair bit tonight and we have a full-blown snow day tomorrow. That way we can have a day off and not have to take a sick day or anything. But I think, ooh, it's taking a little bit. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play blast this out, because I don't know what our old one was or what we needed to do for upgrades or anything. So I think what we can try and do... Oh yeah, I don't like this song. Yeah. Let me also just put this on... Should be a shuffle option. I don't see it on here because I can't get a good angle of the monitor. I'm just gonna skip it for now. Also, that has the mute on it, so we're gonna do this. We are gonna pause the music for now, and then we're gonna see how the shot looks. And there's no audio. Why is there no audio? When... Oh, because I think when we refreshed this... Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it's doing a built-in thing as opposed to just doing this. So, now that we have that, let me just test the audio here. Okay, so now I can hear it.
And let me say something, if I may, about...
So, oh yeah, let me open this in keyframe real quick, just so then I can properly see the frame numbers and all that other jazz. This one.
Let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something.
I almost feel like what we can do... Ooh, we actually had notes from the last stream. If any of you guys remember, we can put the music back on for now. Let's start that word back up. Alright, so we have these notes here. I don't know if you guys can see that properly. Full screen that. Even maybe increase that to like maybe 18 so everybody can read that right. I think what we can try and do is... Actually, I could probably just keep my volume up, but then I can turn the volume down on here, I think. Yeah. So, if we have... let's see. Cheeks pop too much. On the B, brows move down with no motivation. Alright. The ton interest, go up a bit more for contrast. So I'm going to read through those notes. Just watch this one more time with the audio.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me.
I also feel like these brows don't move. Well, I guess it's like
something of interest. Something of interest.
I do like that the brows kind of drag as they're coming down. They don't lead.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
And it's stalling here at the end because it's going to be fading out from here, and the last frame you'll see is that one, and then it's absolute black on 185. So.
And
also a single pop frame for this blink. So maybe right there we'll also do that. So let's just hit that first while we have it in our mind. Take these out. Oh, come on. Alright, Tour Unit 16 is so weird. We're trying to at least get that stuff back in there. Get that student library back in. Where we actually save any of the stuff out. Alright, so the blank, which was down here. Let's go ahead and blend to neighbors here. And bring that over there. We can have it where it's really leading it, but you'd still at least see it coming down. So it's not like you still can see just that little slit of white.
let me say,
we have all that. So we got that one. So let's try and do the simple notes that we have right now. Then we'll move on to other options. Yeah, let's just work in the mouth and face for now. So frame around 69, brow or cheeks pop too much, moves down too far on the B. So I think it's on the about. Also turn the sound off on here for now. Also, it's a bit of a mouth. Yeah. Mouth pop going from here to here. Maybe. Excuse me. Maybe. Let's see it in real time.
Let me say something, if I may, about.
It's going from my may.
Thing, if I may, about. If I may, about. Something, if I may, about. Let me say something, if I may, about.
So we'll probably get that pose into here. So if we take this here and here, and just have this be the sort of ease in. May. About. So I think these were the cheek controls that we went with, right? Woo. I wanted this. So if we look at these, right? Was the puff in here? If anything. It was all in here. It's just a little bit less. I think the cheeks in general. Oh, this is so little. Oh yeah, because that was that. So this was about, right? I think if we get in here, we really reduce that. Same thing in here. I mean, I know he's releasing it, but I wonder if that's because the lines, they're kind of coming in here. So it's the puff is in here. Like the puff too much? Just reduce this a bit. So I think in the base animation layer, probably this. Yeah, so I think it's in the base. Just moving down a bit too much. So we'll reduce it by like 50%, I think. And then this mouth kind of pops. I think that was all pretty good. Let's see, rest for the mouth face. Let's see, brows move down with no motivation. If we come back to here.
And let me...
Maybe I just need to delay the brows when the head starts moving down. Yeah, so keep that up here and then have it be a little bit more subtle, like a lot more subtle. There we go. I feel like that's a little bit better. So when you play through it, it's just that little lean forward and brow face compression. Just a bit, right? I think this is kind of, yeah, like the whole wobbliness to it. I almost feel like what we could do for the wobbleness is take the head rotation, reverse it and offset it, I think. Just to get us like a good chunk of the way and to give us a little bit more kind of a squishy feel to him. And I think like when he comes up, I feel like we're seeing too much of the nose in here. In the rotation, I think. I feel like this is mostly down, which is okay because Jeff Goldblum's nose is kind of like that. I almost feel like we should have it majority of it, right, being close to 0. And then blend or not blend to default. That's what I want. Yeah. We do that. Use that there. Okay, that might be enough.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know of interest. Something of interest.
So interest. Maybe just have the jaw open a little bit on the interest part.
About something of interest.
Maybe if we go ahead and do our camera zoom here. Really get this. Get a little bit of those upper teeth. Rest. All right. I think the S is definitely going to be a little bit higher up. Rest.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of
Pulling that back.
something of interest. Let me.
Also, I need to have these corners. Rest. I think just kill that. But have these right here. Maybe have these down to like 0.5. But then test.
Of interest. Something of interest. Let me think of interest. Let me think.
And let's get this L in there. Pulling that up. Oops. Sure. Yeah, that should be good. That's not a great in-between shape here. I think we have this, right? Blend the neighbors. Also, if anybody has any questions at all about just kind of overall, just some of the stuff that I'm doing, any of the tools that I'm using. You can go ahead and ask away in the chat, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities.
Let me think if I know. If I know anything of interest.
All right, cool. I think we're doing pretty well. Hitting some of these notes. Ton interest, more of an F shape for F1, 63. Is that up here? That one. There we go.
Know anything of interest. I know anything of interest. If I know anything.
Oh, have.
I know anything.
So that right there. I think we have this. I think that just doing that. Yeah.
Of interest, and let me say,
I feel like this kind of goes and I feel like if we have this translating right, I'd have this like severely reduced. So it's and then it goes down when he opens. If we kill that. Yeah, down to the end. Feel like that is a little bit. Oh, Wiley is fresh. Howdy. Hey, what's up, buddy? Or is it Willie is fresh? Sorry, I have a buddy by the name of Wiley, although it is spelled a little bit differently. So I just saw that and thought it was my buddy Wiley hopping in, saying hi. Although, is that? No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not that spelling. I think it has an E in there. I'm sorry if I'm messing up. How you doing, man? It's your boy Will. Oh, Willie. Ah, Willie is fresh. Dude, what's up, man? How you doing? Did you get to enjoy any of the snow on your way home? And this is Will from work, correct? Just wanted to make sure. Oh dang! I just got. I have like a whole bunch of follow notifications. Did I miss stuff? Did anything happen? Well, I didn't check. Let's see here. 8:23 and then 8:38. Yeah. My hair froze straight up. Yes, potentially well. Nice, nice, son. Let me get you on that friend requests. But yeah, and then Gorix, thanks for the follow as well. I'm sorry that I missed your guys' thing. I've been having this weird issue lately where my Team Labs, Or my alert box aren't. The shots are looking real good. Thanks, buddy. Really do appreciate that. Are you also hoping for a snow day tomorrow? Yeah, so I have the notifications there. Let me see. Alert box. Let me test follow. So I see that it's popping up over here, but my alert box that's supposed to be going off up there is not going off at all. Event list, Discord, sub goals, alert box. What the F, mate? Just turn that off back on again. And then test follow. It's not popping up. The F, man. Yeah, about to lose this league match. I guess it's just like, I'm gonna go watch some other people on Twitch real quick. That's it. So sorry for all the stuff that's probably popping up here. There's a network error. Oh, that's fun. Game over. Ugh. Yeah, let me see what is it showing there. Yeah, so it's showing Brandon Bailey, follow, sub, test, all that stuff. So that's great. I should be able to like refresh that, I believe, but yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, so thanks again to I think Gorix for the follow and Willie is Fresh for the follow. Really do appreciate that. And I will try and check to see why that's not working over there. Here, let me actually just see if I do my other panel, is it the same thing? Yeah, just the alert box isn't working, which is really weird how it's like this is working just fine. You can see all the it's testing stuff, like all that stuff. But yeah. Oh well. Get back onto this animation stuff. So let's see here.
And let me say something. And let me say. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say.
I feel like there's like the
let me say something, if I may, about. And let me say something.
I also need to listen to this when I'm not streaming because there might be a little bit of input lag. Because I'm hearing this on my stream machine, so there might be some lag going through there. So I'm not going to mess with the timing of the mouth too much until I'm watching it on my own, maybe when I'm doing some super duper finalized polish sort of stuff.
Something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
So let's see what were the other things for the body anyways that we were trying to work on. So we did more of the F shape there for that, more furrow overall in the beginning. So we're gonna try and get these. Where is a good point? Maybe we can just keep the X value right here. How are we doing the furrow? Is it just because it's down? I guess we could. Probably don't want the negative. I want. Oh yeah, we do. So if we have that there, and then when he comes down. Either that, or we can just really, we'd have to find some points to try and maybe from here to here, we get back to like 0. Release that tension, right? Because we're having that, him kind of like thinking about stuff, and then he's kind of coming back out of it right here, right?
If I may, about.
And then we can maybe hold the entire brows from here to there. have that. So about. Release that. Release them brows. Yeah. So the more fur overall in the beginning. So I'm just looking at this little notepad that I wrote notes down and for everything in there. Let's see. Browse news down. No motivation. We did that one. Cheek pops too much. So the first mouth face notes that we have is pretty good. So contact pass with the hand's fingers. We'll do that as an overall thing. So the last hand opening, have screen your hand, translate, rotate X, further right, question mark. So once we come over here, we have this. So I think what we'll go ahead and look in here real quick to kind of see what we were doing. So if we come in here, so I'm guessing it's to here. Yeah.
I know anything.
Yeah, so it looks like, so basically it just like slides out, stays there. So I'm thinking of it kind of coming out this way and back as like a nice little arc going out and in. Let's see, when does the, okay, that's fine. So if we have this, so if we do this, start having this come all the way out, maybe translate, and then 1 2 translate it over, so then it's 1 2 3. So it gives you that maybe just have it. So then it is kind of
think if I know anything of it.
I don't really like that sort of movement where his hand. Sort of. Go from here, right? There. I feel like it should be from here to here, right? Have that. I think the blend on and off for the parent constraint. It's a bit strange, and then it kind of moves really fast coming from here to here, because now we're starting to take a little bit more of our artistic license for this, because excuse me, we're just trying to do what sort of feels right, as opposed to it is the hand. Okay, maybe. Why is it like such a pop-up? Maybe it needs to be there, that's why. There we go. Oh, because it's like we're fighting. When is the body moving? So I guess that's the last frame when it starts to... It's kind of stopping there almost. Like, I understand that that is getting moved too. And we can lock that elbow down position-wise, but let the rotation stay. Because that elbow isn't really coming on. We could try and choose a point or two where he actually does kind of come off of it and back down again.
Let me say something about something interesting.
Just give that little bit of a bounce.
Of interest.
I think that's good. Just a little bit of bounce. Oh yeah, totally forgot. It was a big no-no. We did a save up from last night. We didn't even do that yet. I mean, we do have an auto save going on, an auto backup and everything. So that's nice, but still always want to try and have an auto backup going on. Versioning up, tool, all that sort of jazz. But yeah, so here's what we got going on so far. I feel like we can try and add a little bit more of the bass in here. We'll try and we do this. Yeah, that elbow comes back a bit. Just really strange. Like it's such a pour. I guess this is locked, right?
Let me think if I know anything. Let me think if I know anything. Let me think if.
I think with this, yeah, right. We add this to a layer. We have this, right? Let's just do that. Okay, cool. So you're compressing a bit. Oh, that's not a breathe. Is it in here? We have a breath thing. Ooh. Oh my. That was not what we wanted. It was a little bit of a strange move. I swear I thought Malcolm had like a breath sort of control on him. Select any of that jazz. No? That is so strange. I could have sworn that he had one. No. Huh. I'm trying to see if there's a way for me. A narrow pass tip. There's like, sometimes there's always like an additional thing, like, you know, in here. That's primarily just this outfit stuff there, right? That's why normally it's in like the chest or base of the neck or something. And that's kind of it, but his whole body kind of, yeah. Start getting into that weird stuff. Points, yeah. guess, like... Yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna have to really sell it in the shoulders, I guess. No breathing from Malcolm. But anyways, so we have him in here. Guess if we just try and maybe have these. See, so it looks like it's rotation X, right?
That real shit.
Do that. That feels good. Just trying to get both of these shoulders in for this little laugh that he does, right? If we come in here, have that come out. I like having... I don't want to have it. Maybe keep that. Okay, yeah, so we'll probably have to just ramp that up just a bit more just so we can actually see it. Oh, that's over a single frame though.
If I know anything, if I know anything,
So I think if we have...
if I know anything.
We'll let the shoulder push the head, right? So when he's laughing, it's not like his head and shoulders are gonna move at the same time, right? Yeah, have the shoulders push that motion, right? So we'll have it start here, go up, two, down, 1, 2. Or we should probably have it where it's back to here, which I think is its neutral. So we'll do that. It'll come down enough to where the nose, I'm tracking the nose right there, right? So we can do that then. I think that should be pretty good. I think the other thing too is like we can try and see what we can do for, and we can actually just keep the keyframe up because we're in the let me.
And let me say.
We do have a little bit more teeth on here too. And I think we're, yeah, so we're going in here. So if we have like what, like this, so we actually show a little bit of a ramp, and it's not just the same. Let we have that, and we do maybe just like a little bit of asymmetrical with this right here. Maybe have it just barely start to move. Maybe put the translate Y here. I think we're getting a little bit. There we go. Compressing up, compressing back down again. I think it was getting a little bit too jittery there, where it was kind of like the corners, you know, were just kind of moving up and down a bit too much. Let me say, a little bit talking about how.
Let me say something, if I may.
Might be able to see the tongue up in here. Also, I don't know if anybody else does this in Maya. Normally, if you hit F, I don't even know what it is anymore in here. What is it, wireframe? Where are you? Yeah, this. So I noticed that a lot of people keep 4 in Maya. You have a hotkey for displaying, all your surfaces with textures and stuff, and then it switches over to here. Because like 1 is like low poly, 2 is, somewhat regular poly. I can't remember what 2 is. 3 is like smooth poly, and then 4 is wireframe. I found that as an animator, I have switched that hotkey to X-ray because, at least for us with controllers, like say like you have this, right? You see all these controllers here. If you go to wireframe, look at what kind of a mess that is. Like especially if I don't have that selected, it's like, what? This yarn ball yarns of just controllers and stuff, right? So that's why I've like switched it officially over to like X-ray. So it's like it's still a mess in there, but it's still, you can just see a little bit clearer, in my opinion, like where all the controllers are and stuff. So just a little thing that I kind of have for my own little workflow. But in here, so let's go ahead and hide all those controllers. Have that up. And then I think, not all the way out, but maybe just enough to where it's like you can maybe see the. Here's the best way to do it. Just zoom in via the camera. And if we go with that, zoom out just a bit. Okay, yeah. Something, if I may. All right, cool. Bam.
Something, if I may, about.
now is where we need to have our lessons of making sure, or not corner height, I need pinch in and out. Uh-oh. Is this corner height getting animated? I don't think so. Just delete that. Yeah, I think that corner height was not supposed to be getting animated. Excuse me. Willie! My old lead used to use that same way. He would yell at us jokingly when we were all in wireframe. Yeah. About. So now we can at least come in here, zero that out, have just a slight zipper. Give that nice little tch on the about. Feel like
something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
Get a little bit of a nice, little bit more of a laugh in there too.
Let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think.
And then I think the other thing we wanted to do as well is focus on some of the context for the body. So let's go ahead and at least do some in here. So if we have like this, we have to like translate it up a bit. Because the big thing, I think, for us is we can have this sort of penetrate underneath just fine. It's just the stuff that we see. I don't think we can really get away with that. So this kind of be a little bit more like that, I think. Excuse me. I don't know. I just have a little bit of a just a slight cough and fit. Yeah. Ooh, Tangled Gamer Girl is rating with a party of 8. Hello, everybody coming over from Tangled Gamer Girl. Thank you for the raid. I know. Wow. Is that an auto thing for you when you raid? Also, I'm terribly sorry that my alert box isn't actually working right now. Normally, yeah, no, don't have my illness. No, you can keep it, and I'll probably get mine as well. But hello, everybody coming over from Tangled Gamer Girl. I hope you enjoyed her stream. I am working on an animation piece right now, and since everybody's coming over, I'll go ahead and set up a play blast, or just sort of an actual true preview of the animation file, because it's very difficult to try and play it back in true speed just because of the character rig and all that other stuff, right? But Nah, I typed it into my raids. My alerts weren't working either. Yeah. But yeah, hello everybody. It's good to see you here. I hope you're enjoying the chill music. You can find all of the music up there at the top right corner there. And if you actually are just interested in just trying to get a link for the lazy, so to speak, you can go ahead and ask me, and I'll try and I could probably link it to you real quick, because I'm trying to see if there is a Spotify bot that you can get, but I remember that I think their API isn't authorized with Twitch anymore, so that's a bit unfortunate. So I know there's some like really weird workarounds that you can do, but I feel like that's just kind of like a nice, decent, like old school way of just showing it, because it's just a screen capture of Spotify, right? Yeah, a lot of my raiders are lurkers, but I don't want them to lose their alert just because I went to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny GTV. So happy to see you, lady. Missed you last 2 times. Yeah. Oh, loving the chat. Gotta love in the chat. So let's see here. So here we go. For anybody who is interested, as well as just for Emily as well, you can come through and just check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the music, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we've been working on so far.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
You have a good bit
and
into that laugh.
Let me say something, if
I just don't know if if it's just a little too much now. I feel like it works because it's like really the only time.
Let me say
really
something, if I may, about
get it more energy.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
We're also going to need to be able to like lock that elbow down. I'd like to at least maybe see about we can put that music back on. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't feeling very well. Thanks for noticing my absence. Yeah, I love seeing this process. Hey man, this is why I do it. Not only. Let's see, so this. I feel like this is a pretty good point right here. This one. So I think if we create another locator, link it to here. Or actually, we probably don't want a locator. Probably just want let's see, so there should be cursors. It's probably just a circle, just so we can differentiate them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line it to there, right? So we have this spot. So this is where we're gonna lock that arm, right? So we have our parent and our child. We have those selected, and we do a parent constraint where it's just I think you can do it where it's just point. Yeah. So you have that now, right? So now if that moves anywhere, it's not going to at all. But I think if that rotates, I know that's connected. So I guess now it's just truly locked, right? So we could have points in there where we can bring it back up and everything, but here, let's do that where we can set a keyframe per one. And then now we can kind of just have this here. We just created a new button for it to select, so we don't have to keep selecting that all the time. We can just make that just like that little 0, so we know that's the cycle. Because I don't think that'll actually rotate it either. If let's go ahead and clear that constraint real quick. I think what we could do is just do a true parent constraint, where we do this, and then a parent constraint, because then that way we can still I guess it doesn't really matter, because that's not what's actually driving that elbow rotation. Go ahead and grab this. I almost feel like this can at least come down a fair bit more. Ooh, actually, I need that to come down like this, I think. And that ease into that. Because we're leaning back, right? So you're not going to be as, you know, and you can't keep the shoulders up if you're leaning back, right? So, and then, hey, sorry everybody, I got to catch back up in the chat. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on here, yeah? Ooh, here we go. So, Eden Waith, I think, yeah. Was asking how far did Tangled get in the game? Did she break Cliffy out? And then, yay, you came back, disappeared on me. Yeah, hi, yes. With Nate's help, I figured I needed a buddy to melt the gates. Okay, good old Spike. And then Tangled Garamule Girl. Yeah, I had the feeling I needed him when the laser didn't work. I seriously enjoyed the SQ5 the most so far. And then Eden, yeah. Can Autodesk export 3D models to Collada? So let me see. When you're talking about Collada, let's see here. Is an interactive. Can Collada accept .obj files? Online 3D model converter? Or is it DAE files? What is Collada? Yeah, native file type. Yeah, because is that primarily stuff for Blender? Is that DAE files, Eden? You'll have to let me know. Because I'm pretty sure that there are ways that I can export this 3D model to be readable by most, if not all, 3D programs. So if you're interested in stuff like that, yes, DAE files are Collada. Well, let's just go ahead and see real quick if we have, let's just select the hair. Just to see. So export selection, file type, DAE underscore FBX export. So I guess if that looks like it's correct, then yeah, I think I can export at least to that uses that as well. Yeah, Collada. So it looks like I could. So it's something where I could probably just geocache this stuff out, and then yeah, are you just wondering about this character rig or anything, or what is your interest? Because this is the Malcolm rig. So I'm using this character rig, the Malcolm rig. So you have, you know, a whole lot of people using them and stuff. It's a free rig. You can download them for free. I don't know of what it's completely compatible with. I guess. Where is it now? I have questions. The tour. How to install? Yeah, for Maya. So you have to like proceed to like the download link, right? Yeah. Then you have to like put in your email address and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay, nice. Just curious. Yeah, of course. I've done a whole bunch of other things as well. I am Hi-5 Gaming. Thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I'm having to kind of look at this stuff in retro. My alert box isn't properly working in terms of my like sound notification, so I don't hear it right off the bat. So thanks again. I am Hi-5 Gaming. Give you one right there. But yeah, I was going to tell you, Eden, Instagrams. Let's see. Yeah. Oh wait, no. B Bailey brand, I think. Yeah. So this is my Instagram. I have a whole bunch of other, you know, just 3D stuff that I've done on there as well. Just been doing like different art things for some people, a lot of fan art things. Just going through seeing my old Cthulhu stuff is always fun. I worked a little bit with cloud models when working with augmented reality apps on iOS. Oh, nice. Getting into that OS, the iOS world, the mobile world. I had some friends get into mobile gaming, and it was definitely a different beast, for sure. I almost feel like I really need to. Like this needs to dip here. Yeah, I feel like that's fine.
Let me think if I know anything. Let me think if I know it.
Maybe not so high.
Let me think.
Try to make sure that that shoulder move is,
Let me think.
is nice and natural. You know, going from that forward movement to the back. Just getting a little tight on my eyes there. Yeah, lean
Something
up
of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And
I feel like it's still maybe a little bit too much bouncy here for the translate line. I almost feel like just reduce that.
anything of interest.
Yeah, I want to feel it. I don't want to see it, right? Especially since we're kind of getting a little bit more
And
subtle.
let me say something, if I may, about something of interest.
Also, his necktie, like, yeah, his necktie is very much just straight attached to his body right now.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
Like, look at this tie and how distorted it is. It's not super huge and nice. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be like in the outfits, right? Under, yeah, like up in here. I feel like there has to be a way for this to be not so broken. Jeez. Like, how is that completely attached to that and this isn't like a true... It's like an FK rig. I'm not a huge fan of that for it being a tie. Like... Maybe there's a specific setting that I'll have to dig through to try and see if what I can actually get out of there. Yeah. Let's see. Well, I'm headed to bed. Have a great night, Eden. I'm so glad you could join my random stream tonight, and thank you for watching my old stream. I always appreciate it. Have a great night, and Brandon, and to Jenny G TV. Thank you for the raid, Tinkle Gamer Girl. We'll definitely have to, I guess maybe you're streaming while I'm streaming now, which will be a little bit tough because I always want to try and swing by and catch it when you're streaming, right? So, yeah, I will also give you a nice little shout out. Just so if anybody wants to go and check Tinkle Gamer Girl out, see what she's up to, although probably everybody in the chat now is mainly coming over from your channel, so yeah. Also, song with lyrics. Trying to avoid those if I can while on the stream. Yeah, well, I am random, but I don't think I tend to overlap with you. Yeah, competition. No, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not trying to go for the competition kind of thing. I want to be able to stop by and actually say hi, and it's hard to do that, right? When you're streaming. So, I think coming out of here, let's see if there's absolutely any. I don't think there was any contact issues there.
And let me say something, if I may.
I think there was a weird hiccup. I almost feel like if we come in here and once 10 is like here, probably adjust this because it's like just.
And let me say something, if I may, about it. Something, if I may, about
Maybe we just have that.
something, if I may.
Maybe just do that.
Something, if I may, about.
Make sure there's no weird like stray keys that are kind of getting.
Something, if I may, about something of interest.
So if I move this body, that hand is still rotating with it. Oh, sorry, I was fighting a boss. Have a good night, Tingle Gamer Girl, and thanks for the raid. Yeah, all the hearts. Loving all the hearts in the chat. Gotta give all those out for sure. I really don't understand why this pin goes with the body. It just goes against everything that I can ever think of. Like, why is that? Because if this goes to 0, that's the FK. Is there anything beyond that? Nope. Okay.
Let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything. And let me say something, if I may, about something.
All right, so now it's coming down here. Don't see any. There's a contact issue where this. Not that one. This one. Pressed. Just need that to be like that. Like a little bit. Yeah. But then just like have this poke out just a little bit. 'Cause you're going from there and then kind of ease in that you're going through. Maybe this right here. Contacting just slightly. Actually, not even close. Okay, so that's fine. That's just a... strong lines. It's getting a little rough there. We have to go here for that, yeah. Maybe just come down a little bit, or maybe just back out a bit, or maybe out this way a bit. To just really have to kind of shape this, I guess. That's the closest we can get for that. Get in there. Get that compression there. I think now with this, we can select that. Take that off. I know we have a good open hand pose. Maybe once. Go from there. Now we probably blend just like a little bit. A little bit.
I don't have anything of interest.
So,
I don't have anything of interest.
then just make sure that.
I don't have anything of interest.
So maybe have these go in there, or have this get bumped there, and these get bumped. There we go. Just trying to follow the arc on the finger there, like right on the tip of the, so if you follow like just the tip of this finger, so you just see how it comes down, it's leading the motion, so you're kind of going like that, right? So he's like pointing, like do 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 do.
Anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think. Interest. Let me think if I something of interest. Something of interest. Something of interest. Let me think. Something of interest. Something of interest.
Maybe a little bit too much.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Something of interest.
Oh yeah, and then I also felt like the thumb in here. Getting bent just a little bit too much. I think it is just this. I turn this back. And I just have this up here. Have that like reduced just a smidge. And bring that up as well. I think we take these and like really try and probably like 50%, because you're gonna have that move down as he's coming up.
Of interest, and let me say.
All right, I think this is a good place to check, see what we're doing so far, see if we're doing stuff right, see if we're doing stuff wrong. Play blasted. Sympathy. Almost like chill step.
And let me say something, if I may,
Here we
about.
go. Now we can open it up here. Reopen that. All right. Full screen it. We will pause our music. And let's see how it's going.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And
I think having it
say
open
something,
up
if I may, about something of interest.
I don't think we're gonna
let me
have
think
it.
if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know.
I was thinking, does his head kind of stop a little too much?
Something of interest.
Like in there.
Something of interest. Let me think if I know.
Let me try and mess with this head. Right. So that way it's just
Of interest. Let me think.
It doesn't feel like he hits it so hard, right?
Anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may.
I almost feel like giving him like just a slight head shake as he's coming over. You know, if I have anything. I actually feel like that might actually add a little bit towards the end, because that way, like, he's kind of having this energy sort of spike coming over, right, and kind of playing it off, and it kind of just ramps up and then immediately comes back down. So I'm going to add a little bit of a head shake there at the end, and then we'll see if that works out.
Anything of it. No, anything of it.
Do every 4 frames. So over to the right, to the left.
Listen.
Back over to the right. Right, left, right, left.
I don't have anything of interest, and I don't have anything of interest. I don't have anything of interest.
That might. I wonder if this has to be added, because with that much. Just like a little bit of that. And then have all this stuff happen like a frame earlier. Actually, be a frame after. Head's the driving force. And let's get back in here and just make that nice and subtle, I think. Just so that, just something that we know. If you do something right, people won't think that you've done anything at all. I think those were the big things that I saw, right? Did that. So we'll do this play blast. And then I think, actually, even though I know we aren't really doing super long streams with this, just because I am doing animation at work and animation at home, I'm going to keep these kind of short. So I think we're kind of pushing up on like an hour or 40 minutes here. And so I think once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and see. Everybody can hit the hay. File, recent, this, here we go. All right, so let's pause it. Let's see.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
I think you could maybe get a little bit more head movement.
Let me think if I know anything of interest.
But I don't want to go too far over.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
I think that's pretty good for now. I mean, I think when he's leaning over and coming into here, his body kind of hits a wall. Let's go ahead and try, see if we can't get that. Maybe if we just do that.
And
Have that. Oops. Just make sure that almost like drag a bit.
let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Let me think.
Trying to get that pressure in the body. All right. Cool. Sweet. I think we're getting pretty good along here. And yeah, and then it basically just comes down to, as soon as we are absolutely done with this, that's when we can go in and add a little bit of the glasses animation, like maybe when he's laughing, add a little bit of some of this action going on, but also especially the hair. The hair, I want to have it super like this one right here. Want a lot of that. A lot of that kind of going on. I think that would be perfect. So if we come in here, we go back to our file, recent files there. Look at that. Pause. Let's see.
And
that movement coming over is much better now.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
If I have anything.
If I know anything of interest.
I don't think I'm even getting the anything in here for his lip sync.
If I know anything of interest. If I know anything.
No, I think. No, I have anything of interest. I don't have anything in there. I think once I back in, get into this jaw. Alright, this is where I'm gonna actually need to have the music off, because I need to hear this, right? Anything, here we go. And I don't have any. Anything. And we could probably do and then this is gonna have to come up like here. We're actually gonna copy that, but we need that. See the tongue just creeping in. Just turn it. Turn it. Creeping up. Thing of interest. So. There we go. Boom. So I can turn that back down in my headphones. Press play there. Play blast. Check that out. Alright. And we'll just play it in VLC. It's fine. We don't have to switch it back over to... Woo. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the stream or not, but...
Thing of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
That's
thing
all
of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Thing of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Thing of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Thing of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
There we go. Bam. So now, probably just play blast this whole thing so I have the file. I can upload it to Sync Sketch. And then maybe do a little bit of noodling there. Hopefully. We're gonna try and get this stuff done. Apply to some sweet places. Also, just wondering, I'm gonna switch my... Let's see.
And
real quick. want to see. Not that. It should be that, because I think I've been having. Oh yeah, and also the grays kind of being super weird. Do I feel like I'm a little bit more of a healthy color, or do I feel too yellow here? Because that one right there is what I did have on. And every single time that I try and look at myself, like in streams and everything, I always feel like I'm not really that proper of at least like color tones. So I might just keep it where it's this, where I feel like I'm an actual human being. So also I could always just adjust some of my settings stuff, so we shall see. Yeah, always handsome to me. Oh, of course, Jay. Yeah. Of course. You're just saying that because you're my girlfriend, of course. I know. There, I actually want to see if it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that is a proper term for the lol. Right here. This is a fun. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done this before, but this is. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Oh, I think it's too long, at least in the pop-out chat for me. So hopefully that's just a straight line. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like it's Gen.G TV, power hot. Oh, and then there's Will, of course, in the chat. Okay, so cut back, bring that back over here. There we go. Just like my arms in real life, super power hot. Yo. All right, so let's pause this. Play.
Let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think.
I feel like him coming up and back, it's too much of a rotation. And then there's nothing in here. And then he just kind of rotates forward again. So, yeah. Let me add. Maybe not so much. And then when we have the shoulder stuff in here. Maybe it's in here. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go in there. Also, we're gonna add the music back. Sorry about that. Yeah, Jenny, don't take no crap. Also, I think in here, when he's leaning back, have it come in a smidge.
Let me think if I know anything of
I think in here, right? This would be for here, then here, then here.
think if I know anything.
Definitely have a lot of this. Just come back to here. Perhaps.
Think if I know anything of think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. Let me Let me think if I know anything of interest.
Here we go. Bam. Woo. Sorry. So sometimes I have to I have to really focus and concentrate, so I can't really talk as much while I'm animating. Ooh, I probably was just furrowing my brows like way too much there too. Yeah, we're creeping up on 10 o'clock here, so I think that'll be like a good time just to go ahead and cut it off. See what's kind of going on.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest. And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
Sweet.
And let me say something, if I may, about something of interest. Let me think if I know anything of interest.
Maybe also just like I'll come in here for a polish pass. Like that's a little bit too asymmetrical, or that's too symmetrical. And then that's very symmetrical and lazy, I think. Because he has been talking out the side of his mouth for a lot. So I think that'll go ahead and do it for today, though. I mean, I think that's like a pretty solid push for all that sort of stuff. Also, now that you can actually see me in this light, I wonder if this should actually be the look that I should go for. Because I actually feel like I have a little bit better color and everything, but what do I know? But anyways, let's go ahead and see what we have here for following. Who is live currently? L Gates is, but he almost never checks his Twitch. I think let's go ahead and raid over to Seriously Clara's page. She is the leader of the Twitch Kittens. We'll go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and set this up to raid for everybody. So go ahead and head on over, say hi, say what's up. We have everybody's starting to queue in. I dig it. So I think she's playing some indie games, something called War Groove. So if you guys are interested, keep on lurking. We'll go over there and we'll say hi and everything as soon as we switch over in just a few seconds. See you in a few, and thanks for watching.